So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How did you style your girl group outfit? And did you guys speak kind of beforehand saying, it's gonna be black and neon, but like, what did you have with you?
So I had a pink outfit for my girl group, and I literally brought it out, and I was so excited, and I was like, hey everyone, this is my girl group challenge, please can we do pink and black? And obviously the other team were doing pink and black, and then we didn't even know that, but everyone was like, I brought something black, I brought something black, and so no one had anything pink, and then I had that coat, which you know, I wore that coat to death in 20.
Is that the apple green one?
It's the apple green.
What did you do to it though?
Well, it must look more neon. I don't know if they put a filter on it or anything, but girl, I'm glad I look like I fit in with the girl group. That's all I had that was neon green, other than my outfit, of course. And so, as much as it might have pissed off Michelle, we all had some neon green and we all had some black. And then Pixie brought, I think she expected the girl group challenge to be later, so she had 3 full girl group outfits that she brought herself. Because she wanted to win that girl group challenge. And we were all sat there and she was bringing them out and we were like, okay Fizz, okay Fizz, okay Fizz, and this goes with the girl group, this goes with the Bone Age theme because it was all leopard print. So we're like cave woman, punk realness. And she brought it out and we all tried a few things on and off, and then everyone had green and black. So
did you wear like an anklet or a bracelet from the
if you
outfit?
can see, I had like a 1-sleeve crop top that I wore over the day clothes that I rehearsed in, because I brought nothing gothic or black to me.
Black tights and
I brought
gloves.
black tights, I promise, and I did brought black fishnets and black heels, and so I wore them, and then basically it all just came together where we all just stood in the mirror and we were all in neon green and black, and we were like, this is Fizz. And we don't get to see anyone, we didn't get to see the other group get their outfits together, so when we were watching them on stage, it was the first time we saw those outfits. And obviously we were intimidated because we imagined, you know, it was sort of pinned as Little Queens versus Comedy Queens, especially as me, a girl who prioritised fashion, lost the fashion challenge last week. I was a comedy queen apparently, so everyone was telling me how comedic I was. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm a comedy queen, and I am, but genuinely so happy I was with that group for obvious reasons. And I just had the best time doing that challenge.
And you can find Dakota Schiffer next week down at the Chuckle Hut.
Doing stand-up, girls. I'm Danny Beards, girls, we're gonna do.
So my question is, did you have, because I mean, I feel like every drag queen has done this in their life, has been like, my verse would be so good, this is what it'd be. Did you have something that you kind of put together in the past that was like, okay, this is kind of what I think I'd talk about in my verse?
Well, you can see in the episode that I'm very, well, as team leader, I don't know if anyone respected that, but I was very like, we're not doing Snatch the Crowns, we're not doing Grab the Crowns, we're not doing Tiny Waists, we're portraying ourselves, and I think because everyone was so distinctive, and even just the cast as a whole is so distinctive in their visuals and their, you know, personal drag journeys, we wanted it to be a celebration of everyone's individual personality.
Absolutely.
And I obviously valued the dolls from the 60s and fashion and trans activism.
Of course.
That I prioritised in my drag, and I felt like I wanted to include that in my verse. And now, when they said it was a punk girl group challenge, I was really nervous because punk, you can see me doing good professionals trying to give a half off. Like I was just,
You're like, girls
you're
are sound of the underground.
I know, I thought we were doing Top of the Pops, like I'm not ready for this. But obviously my entire team brought me up, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go a bit Courtney Love, Gemma the Hologram, Barbarella vibes for this girl group. And genuinely, everyone just meshed so well together, everyone let everyone be themselves, and I think that's what propelled us to the win, because we were so just loving of each other's drag style and our individuality that we weren't trying to be super cohesive, and that was almost our cohesion in the end.
Yeah.
We all let ourselves, I know we were all wearing black and neon, but it was our cohesion in terms of lyrics. You could hear what we were saying, we only had like a few lyrics, we weren't trying to fit so much stuff in that it was forced, and you know, I hope that, thank you, we were having fun, and you can see, honestly, it's the first time, after that first week, I was so rocked to another level. I just felt like I was transported into space. Because I had no clue what was going on, and I really thought, you know, when they do the mirror chats, and obviously I'm very grateful, my twin is sitting over there.
Can we get a round of applause for that conversation that we had on that race? It's very important. I'm so glad that it actually happened for both of you.
I mean, as a conversation, it's amazing, and I'm so glad I got to watch it, and it meant so much, and you probably saw us bawling our eyes out to it, but Do you know the typical action where a queen gets eliminated in the episode, they get a mirror chat?
Yeah.
When the producers told me I was having a mirror chat that episode, I was like, you're gonna send me home. I'm going home. And so I felt so nervous for the girl group challenge because I thought they'd already decided that I was going home. And that conversation, it almost came out of a place of thinking that was the last words I was ever going to speak in that room. And obviously I'm glad it's not, but...
It very much came across that way, but I feel like that almost adds to the sentiment of it. It was so raw, and it was so... You said everything that you needed to say, basically.
I mean, I'm just so grateful that that conversation's on national television and on the BBC, and just, we don't... So many trans people don't get the microphone, and I'm just so overwhelmed with the love, and I'm just so thankful.
So we're going to take some questions to go on to the audience. So, does anybody have a question, please, for Dakota Schiffer? I'm coming to you.
Thank God.
She has a question.
She's in muggle form.
She's got a unique thought, everyone clap for her.
Babyface, what is your question for Dakota Schiffer?
Hello, my love. So obviously I know you are a very talented seamstress. I was wondering how much of what you took to the race did you make yourself and how much did you outsource?
So there was a lot of creative sort of embellishments and tailoring that once I got the outfits that I received, I added onto. But unfortunately, I didn't give myself enough credit, I don't think, about my sewing prowess. And I mean, we'll see next week how I do in the sewing challenge, because that is a challenge I've always looked forward to doing upon if I ever get the chance to do it. So thank you. So, but unfortunately, I didn't give myself that credit, that I'd given myself after filming about my sewing skills. And I think that sucks because I wish I had. I know I probably could have made better outfits if I sewed them, but I didn't give myself that credit, and that sucks. But I got a chance next week, hopefully, to prove that, my sewing skills are better than 9 other girls, but we'll see. So you'll have to tune in next week.
Absolutely. Anybody else from the audience? Oh, I'm coming for you, Barbara.
She's coming.
Hi. Rue asked Black Pepper if they had the chance again, would they re-choose their team? If you got the choice again, would you re-choose anyone in your team and swap out from the other team?
Honestly, no. I mean, as much as, since filming Rat, Starlet has been my absolute just best friend from the competition. We have such a love for vintage glamour, and we live really close together, and it's just been so amazing to have that support since filming Rat. But the performance, and to watch it now, there's nothing I would change about it. And I was about to pick Starlet, and then Pepper picked her. And she asked me many a times why I didn't pick her. And I said, I was about to pick you, I promised. And then Pepper picked her, so it wasn't something that I really even thought about until filming Wrapped. And, Starlet is just an amazing, amazing visual artist. And her personality as well, that unfortunately I don't think that this platform specifically has gotten to see her full personality, but I know that the world is ready to see it. And I have the privilege of being able to see it as her friend, and I just hope the whole world is ready for the creative force that is Starlet.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Let's give it up for Starlet.
I think we need to highlight the fact that, I think doing Drag Race in a modern age of drag, not every queen is shouting from the bar and is a rowdy bastard, you know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot to be said for the creative look.
Soft-spoken girl.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anybody else from the audience? Yes?
Hi. I was just wondering, say you had to do your drag in only one colour for the rest of your
Mint
career.
green.
I could have answered that one.
Yeah,
but-
you're asking the wrong person.
I know, okay, apart from the green.
Okay. No, it's a hard one because that colour specifically has always been something people have identified me with. But basically, the kind of colour palette I work in, just very Sophia Coppola and Marie Antoinette, Lauderdale, macarons and pastel colours. So whatever's next, I guess like a duck egg blue or
Pistachio.
Yeah, pistachio or sage green
That's
or
green.
a peachy tint, you know.
Green that's not lime green.
Yes, basically nothing neon. And them forcing me to do that was a hate crime.
Any other questions for us? I saw yes.
I have another question. Oh,
No,
you go.
cut them off.
You.
Hi, big fan. I wanted to know, so obviously when you're going on to something like Drag Race, I feel like now there are obviously lots of custom looks, so you kind of like come with like everything prepared. Would you say it was easy or difficult to apply critiques that kind of went to like styling critiques for runways, knowing that you already have a suitcase full of like these like fully realized looks?
I mean, you're speaking to something that some of the fandom obviously appreciate and know about the show. You know, I got those critiques in the first week to be more extravagant and to, I guess, be more draggy, quote unquote, and that was something I couldn't change. You know, I've already brought, 11 looks with me, minus the ones that I brought for the first runway. And as much as I stood there and I said last week, I want to take on these critiques, I can't change the specific outfits and the finances that I had before I went to this competition. I was a student, I was studying geography at UCL, I was midway through my dissertation, and then I got a call, and I was like, okay, now I guess I'm going. And obviously my parents were too happy to hear that I was deferring. But, it was something that, as much as I hear those critiques, I don't hear change everything you brought, I hear, change the presentation, the way you walk down the runway. I watched myself walk that first runway and felt so deflated because I knew that I felt less than the 11 of the queens that I was walking with. And it was that confidence that I didn't have going in, those first day nerves, that, I hope you saw that I got over in this challenge and, may get over next week. It's one of those things where I couldn't imagine how nervous I would have felt. A little fun tidbit for everyone is that I forgot my entrance line when I was walking in. They were like, stand on a spot and pose longer than you feel like it. And I was like, okay, this is so weird. And I was so focusing on getting the right spot for my entrance, I completely forgot to say my entrance line, so I had to film it again. So Dave Sply's reactions from 2 entrances.
Sharon Needles.
No.
Yes, Dakota Schiffer.
Cut the
is
camera
Sharon
instead
Needles
of shut your mouth. I just those nerves, I can't even exaggerate how nervous I was that first day. And this challenge and being with the queens I was totally brought me out my shell. And I didn't think of it as much as those critiques in the first week to change everything you're wearing, although it might look like that. And it might look like it's been another week. That was 24 hours of the first episode. You can see the tear stains on my face when Kathy Dennis is telling me, how to change my lyrics. I'm literally just been crying in confessionals, but the audience don't see that. So, but I thank you for your question and your, I guess, understanding of the way the process works. But I know the judges meant you need to walk the runway with more confidence, and you need to make styling decisions that take your runways to somewhere else, not change your entire drag style. And that's not what they meant. And we'll see.
Kind of running off that, is that if there was one thing that you could tell the fans and the audience of RuPaul's Drag Race that coming off the show, what would kind of be the one thing that you tell them?
Well, I know it's so cliche, but like we're just people. Like we are.
Boo.
I know. We are just random people selected from a group of amazing, talented queer artists, and not many people get this opportunity every year. I mean, I know it seems like there's about 17,000 seasons of Drag Race every year now, but this specific one in the UK, we're a tiny little island with an amazing close-knit group of queer artists, and the people they pick, we've come from the hardest situations you can imagine. We've all come from different backgrounds, and I'd say that that sympathy and that empathy that comes from it as a viewing perspective is so important to have, because you don't know what anyone's going through. Everyone telling me my runway looks were too simple the first week. You don't know I was second piece at frozen shelves at Tesco for fucking 4 years before that win. You tell me it's too simple? Okay, you don't understand anyone's situation. So it's one of those things where that empathy and that sympathy as a viewer, it's very easy to sit there behind the screen and critique.
Absolutely.
That empathy is so important to have because there's so much hate. And why would you want to put out hate when you could just be a positive light in this community?
Well done. We've got time for a couple more questions.
You come to my TED Talk.
One from Dom at the back, making me walk.
Walk, girl. Strap.
Hi, it's such an
Who
honor
are
to
you?
speak to you. I'm such a big fan. And you spoke a second ago about how you would watch Black Pepper do her makeup every week and just be in awe of it. What would you say are a couple of things that you learned from your fellow queens while you were filming the show?
You know, I'm not going to spoil too much, but certainly was having faith in myself. Like, you can see the kind of way I am in the confessionals, and, you know, just as a person, I have a tendency to have, you know, doubt myself and be super self-depreciating. And, you know, that is, you know, like, fun, you know, when you're comparing, you know, uni essays, but it is not fun when you're walking the runway. And there's no time to have self-doubt in a competition like Drag Race. And I learned from my other competitors to have more faith in myself, especially this week. It's a challenge that I literally didn't even really prepare for. I wrote a few rhyming, you know, things down in my notebook that would have gone with more poppy girl challenge, and they were like, it's a punk girl challenge. I was like, oh my god, like how are we gonna fit all these lyrics?
Rhymes with Schiffer.
I know, nothing, apparently, Swiffer, and then I said, I cut that out. I was like, when you rub lipstick off, it comes off really clean. I was like, Dakota Schiffer, they cut that out. I think it's right. Anyway, I learned to have more confidence in myself, and that is a lesson I thank personally Danny for. You know, they really, you know, looked at me and had some faith in me. You could see at the start of the episode, and it just genuinely, they were so understanding of my situation, and they gave me that confidence, and so many other queens as well. But you know, I just specifically remember Danny giving me that faith in myself for that challenge. As much as I was having to reassure them about choreography, they were like, you have a star quality that is unique and important, and the world needs to see it. And you know, I'll never be able to repay them for that lesson that they taught me. So.
I'm back. Any more questions in the audience? Any more questions?
One last one, just the
We've got two
fun.
hands, one over there and one over there.
Wow, I'm blacked. Oh, sorry.
I just wondered what you all thought of Starlet's exit line when she said it, and if you took it as like a negative thing.
We couldn't hear it. We were standing on stage and like genuinely, she's so quiet, and obviously we're all mic'd up, and we're mic'd up with the fanciest technology money can buy, like these tiny little microphones that seem like sci-fi technology, and they're always like hidden between our runway looks. And she said her exit line, we couldn't hear her, and it's crazy.
Are we talking about her one at the front with Rue?
Yeah.
Right, okay, I didn't know if I'd missed something. Okay.
We're talking about the one where she's like, I need to find a new one.
Yes.
I don't, and as knowing Starlet as a person, she didn't mean that as a negative thing. She, you know, had dreamed of being on the show for years, and her creativity, I don't think needed that platform, and never had, but certainly something that would, you know, grow from that platform. And I think she, as a person and as a creative force, meant that exit line as, you know, a way that this platform might be over, and you know, I am now going to take what you've given me and grow, and just go so much further than anyone ever imagined. And Starlet's visuals are off the charts. I was in awe of her the minute I walked in the workroom, and always have been. And she is just an incredible person, and she would not mean that with any negativity at all.
No.
So she was being thankful that she'd been given that platform. And it might just be her dry sense of humour that might have cut and saying, I'm going to find a new one. But she did not mean it like that, and it didn't. I didn't think it came across like that. Maybe I can understand how you may have thought, but she is just an incredible person. And
For sure. I think we should get a round of applause for Starlet. Exceptional queen.
And we have our last question here from the front.
Oh, hi. My question was about the lip sync. So, how much notice do you get about the songs? Do you get a list like the runway categories prior to filming, or do they say this week it could be like one of these two songs?
so we get told definitively what the lip sync song is that week, and we get told the day of the challenge, and we get told when we're at home in the hotel room, you practice this lip sync. This one lip sync. We don't get options. We get told what lip sync was. And there was no sort of jinx monsoon, grand theory, switcheroo at the last minute. You know, every lip sync song was told to us before and we got to practice it. And you know, we get a list of multiple songs. There's more songs than we need on the little iPods that they give us. You saw them when we were practicing the Galgo challenge. But you know, we don't. There's no kind of weird production tactics. You know, we get told what song it's going to be, and we get to practice, and we all get the same amount of time to practice those lyrics. And it was let them know for the first week, and it's about now for the second week, and you'll see what it is in the next week. So, but that's how I guess it works. There's no kind of we get a lot of time to practice the lyrics, pretty much. Yeah. Unless there's for something like this is a massive challenge and you're remembering your own lyrics, so trying to remember lyrics on top of that was really hard. I was there like, I can't remember my own lyrics and about you now in the hotel room, but you know, other challenges like last week, you know, you got on drag 2 times and you remembered let them know. And I'm glad I did. So that's kind of how that situation works.
Amazing.
No worries.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you to Dakota Schiffer. This is actually Sabrina's not being party for the day, but of course I could not let us all go without Flesh earning her fee for the night, so she must perform for you all. So.